As Sean Diddy Combs' legal situation takes an unexpected turn, with some major allegations reportedly dismissed, speculation has grown about what could happen next if his position strengthens. Industry chatter suggests that Terrence Howard may draw attention due to his recent candid remarks about experiences he claims to have witnessed at high-profile gatherings connected to Diddy, including unexpected interactions and notable guests. Speaking openly, however, has reportedly brought pressure, with Howard acknowledging attempts to discourage him from continuing. Rather than backing down, he has responded with public resolve, making it clear he won't retreat into silence. With a mix of confidence and transparency, Howard has redirected attention toward those trying to quiet the conversation, signaling that there may be far more beneath the surface of these stories than has ever been openly discussed.
Speak against me, then use the same courage that it took for me to say those truths. Man to man, eye to eye, integrity and in truth. I've spent a lifetime earning the right to speak with the conviction about these truths that I speak. So if you want to tear that down, have the decency to come and say it directly to my face, and say it like a man.
It began when Terrence Howard openly addressed the long-rumored parties tied to Diddy that have circulated through entertainment circles for years. Howard said he was once invited to one of these private gatherings but declined immediately, making it clear that no level of fame or access was worth compromising his values. In a candid interview, he spoke firmly about integrity, self-respect, and what it means to stand on principle in an industry that often rewards silence and conformity. He stressed that his identity and moral boundaries are not negotiable, underscoring that staying true to oneself can carry more power than any connection or spotlight Hollywood has to offer.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers coming to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit, because the man card means everything.
The discussion shifted sharply when Terrence Howard began referencing familiar industry figures, including Justin Bieber, a moment that caught many by surprise. Howard suggested that Bieber had been present at high-profile gatherings connected to Diddy at a very young age, explaining that what often appears publicly as harmless networking or glamorous access can carry unseen pressures behind the scenes.
Some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here is men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Terrence Howard didn't stop at rejecting alleged invitations or calling out powerful figures. He went further by directly addressing those attempting to intimidate or discredit him online. With a steady but firm resolve, he made it clear that backlash, anonymous threats, or industry pressure will not force his silence. Aware of the risks that come with speaking openly, Howard has chosen principle over comfort, insisting that remaining quiet has already allowed too much harm to go unchecked. By standing his ground, he's not only protecting his own integrity but also drawing attention to the hidden pressures and unspoken realities of an industry that often values compliance over courage.
Listen, before y'all talk about me, y'all need to talk to me. You see, once upon a time, if a man questioned another man's honor, he didn't do it from the shadows. He had to do it out in the open, with his name, his chest out, and his chin high. Not hiding behind the keyboard or tucked behind edited clips of fair use disclaimers. You see, citing Section 107 of the Copyright Act does not give you free rein to defame, misrepresent, or harm another's reputation. Fair use is not a shield for character assassination. So here's the simple truth. If you take my words, my image, my ideas, and twist them to feed your fear and inflate your ego, if you profit off of my name while calling me a liar, then be prepared to stand behind your accusation.
Concerns surrounding Diddy's alleged behavior toward Terrence Howard intensified following testimony from his former assistant, Capricorn Clark, which has drawn widespread attention. In her account, Clark described experiencing direct and serious threats, stating that the situation left her genuinely afraid. She portrayed a working environment shaped by control, intimidation, and unspoken boundaries, where those close to power felt pressure to comply. While these statements remain allegations, her testimony echoed broader warnings about the risks faced by individuals who choose to speak out.
You got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far. You know, who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card.
Adding to the concern, Sean Diddy Combs has also been linked to serious allegations involving coercion and unlawful restraint, further deepening scrutiny around his actions. According to unverified accounts, his influence was allegedly used to place individuals in situations where control and pressure made it difficult to leave or speak freely. When viewed alongside reported threats and recent testimony from former associates, these claims suggest a troubling pattern behind the scenes. While none of this has been proven in court, the accusations highlight how power can be misused in hidden ways and why calls for accountability continue to grow.
Haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
Well, that's why it's only business. It was really, away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because he's a little fluffy. stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. Now, like, and when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, I'll spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable.
As the situation continues to unfold, attention remains fixed on what may come next, and some believe 50 Cent could also face heightened risk if Diddy regains leverage. While recent focus has centered on Terrence Howard, the long and complicated history between 50 and Diddy can't be ignored. For years, 50 has openly challenged Diddy, criticizing everything from business practices to the culture surrounding elite industry gatherings. That ongoing friction underscores just how high the stakes are for anyone willing to speak publicly, suggesting the ripple effects of this moment could extend well beyond the current spotlight.
To take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. Stop it, man. You set that up. Look, obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. Guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think's happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on there. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, maybe I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you could give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm going to mess up the way. Certain things, they let it go by because it's puff. He wasn't like in the closet. He was like in the hallway.
All these years, you've been the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
You're a hater. They say you're crazy.
Yeah, and now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting.
For more than a decade, 50 Cent has stood out as one of Sean, Diddy, Combs' most vocal critics, a stance many once brushed off as routine industry rivalry. Over time, however, 50 has suggested there was something deeper driving his caution. He has pointed to a moment that changed his perspective, an invitation from Diddy that seemed harmless on the surface but felt unsettling in tone, enough to raise quiet red flags. That experience prompted him to question intentions and maintain distance, shaping the guarded approach he's taken ever since and underscoring how layered and strained their history has become.
When Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. At the same time. He got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like fucking things to cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see that their kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them.
50 Cent has repeatedly suggested that silence around Sean, Diddy, Combs isn't accidental, it's driven by fear. He's argued that Diddy's vast reach across music, fashion, media, and branding creates real risk for anyone who speaks out, discouraging many from sharing what they may have witnessed. According to 50, people choose quiet to avoid professional fallout or being pushed out entirely. By contrast, he has consistently refused to back down, using his platform to challenge behavior he believes deserves scrutiny, highlighting that in an industry powered by influence and connections, telling the truth often demands both courage and a willingness to face consequences.
You better believe it. Shout at Def Jam, we the best. You know what it is? It's 2010, baby. It's the takeover. I'm going in.
Happy New Year to the whole planet. God is the greatest. Real talk. And you know, I mean, if there's anything that somebody can say better than that, I'm all ears. But with that being said, continuous blessings to the whole entire universe.
Big shout out to my man Drake is in the house. Fabulous is in the house. This little brotherly love. My biggest brother with all the boss, Ricky Ross, is in the house. Ricky Ross, report to the grass. DJ Khaled, he's the best. He's in the house. Tiana Taylor is in the house. My brother Chris Brown, I'm escaping with him to take a day. Chris Brown is in the house. You know what I'm saying? And something ain't right, so I know Chris Brown is in the house. Big shout out to my son Quincy, my son Christian, my son Justin.
Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They're all gay?
Yeah.
Got you. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter, okay? I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know?
As the situation intensifies, newly emerging material has made it harder for many to dismiss the long-standing concerns raised by Terrence Howard, 50 Cent, and others. Reports connected to past events have fueled unease, and the possibility of Diddy's release now feels unpredictable and charged. If that happens, some fear the consequences could ripple outward, not only affecting those who have spoken publicly, but also exposing broader patterns of silence within the industry. With public attention locked in, one thing is clear: any next move is unlikely to pass quietly and may force difficult conversations into the open.
Combs is facing new accusations of human trafficking as he awaits his federal trial. In a civil case filed in Florida April 1st, Joseph Manzaro alleges, according to court documents obtained by E! News, that he was drugged, transported against his will, and sexually maimed as a victim of a coercive and organized criminal enterprise facilitated by Combs and others back in 2015, and names celebs such as Beyonce, Jay-Z, and LeBron James as witnesses in the lawsuit. In his filing, Manzaro says the alleged events took place in April 2015. He states that he lost consciousness after feeling a, quote, greasy substance resembling Vaseline as he opened the front door to his home, after which he says he was transported to another residence, where an associate of Combs allegedly told him that the music mogul wanted him brought to a freak-off event. Manzaro alleges in the suit he was secretly transferred to the music producer's home through a concealed tunnel allegedly connected to Gloria Estefan and Emilio Estefan's Miami property. He alleges that upon regaining partial consciousness, he found himself inside a large party area upon information and belief that it was a birthday party for Combs' then 17-year-old son Christian Combs. There he was allegedly forced to appear in a penis mask. The lawsuit states, Jay-Z and Beyonce Knowles Carter were seated in the room, and upon seeing Manzaro, Beyonce Knowles Carter asked, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with a penis mask standing here in front of me?" Manzaro alleges in the lawsuit that he was then forcibly paraded through multiple rooms filled with people who were jeering and taunting him.
High-profile individuals, including Jacob Arabo, Jay-Z, Gloria Estefan, LeBron James, and Beyonce Knowles Carter, are identified as witnesses due to their presence or knowledge of the events surrounding the freak-off orchestrated by defendant Diddy. Wow. And freak off, of course, is something that we've heard many times before, both in Combs' criminal case and other civil cases, to describe these prolonged sexual episodes, usually with sex workers. But Manzaro is suing Sean Combs. He is suing a man named Eric Mejias. He is suing Brendan Paul, who's been described in another lawsuit as Sean Combs' drug mule, Emilio Estefan, who is married to pop superstar Gloria Estefan, and Adria English, who filed her own lawsuit against Sean Combs, claiming she too was a victim of sex trafficking. By the way, it's interesting he's not suing these other celebrities that I mentioned, like Jay-Z and Beyonce and Gloria Estefan, possibly because he doesn't believe their alleged liability amounted to a civil claim. But
so what happens next? Does Terrence Howard walk away untouched, or does a potential release shift the balance in Hollywood entirely? The answers are still unfolding, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this breakdown valuable, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Stay alert, stay informed, and keep it real.